Welcome back.
Happy Spoopy season, everyone.
Spoopy.
Yeah.
Spoopy. I've never Spoopy.
Wait, yeah, Spoopy season.
Brittany.
I don't know a lot of things.
Oh, well, for once, I am ahead. Well, welcome back to another Muk-jji-bba episode, everyone. I'm Muk-jji.
I'm Brittany.
And I'm Judy.
And today, we will be talking about all things Spoopy.
Yes.
Ooh.
This is for our Halloween lovers.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you guys think you guys are one of those people that are like, oh my god, I love Halloween.
No.
Bats.
Oh, no.
Bats? Wait, you know the Vine where she's like, look, it's freaking bats. Like,
No.
I don't know that one.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, this is so popular.
I've never heard of it. Vine, you said?
It's Vine, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's Vine. She has like bat stickers.
Oh.
I forgot. Is it her window or her wall? And her face is like in the corner of like the frame. So she's like, look, guys, it's freaking bats or something like that. I don't know.
Interesting.
It comes back every,
Spoopy season?
Yes. So.
Yeah. I was never a huge Halloween person. I think it's because our family didn't. It's like pretty typical in a Christian household. They're
Right.
like, ugh, Halloween. Yeah. I just remember I wasn't allowed to go trick or treating growing up, so I was very like always jealous of all my friends who did like dress up and go around the neighborhood and get candy.
Yeah.
But for our household, we turned off the lights so that no one would come.
Same.
Yeah. So I honestly don't have a lot of childhood memories about Halloween. It's mostly I went trick-or-treating in middle school actually for the first time.
Oh,
Just a little too old, kind of.
No, I also went in 7th grade.
Oh, yeah, me too. 7th
Yeah,
grade.
yeah.
Yeah.
The validate.
Yeah. It was so fun though.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really fun. That was also my first. I think I did go when I was really little, but I don't really count that.
Yeah.
I also went in 7th grade, and my friends and I, we all dressed up, and we went to kind of the nicer complex.
That's how you do it.
To get the nicer candy. And there was actually a house that set up a whole haunted house. They created their own haunted house, and I don't know why or how, but my friends ended up pushing me to the front. So I was the one trailblazing, and and they weren't scared because they just heard me screaming, and they were not scared at all. So I was the only one who got scared. But it was a good time, I guess.
Wait, when you go to haunted houses, do you keep your eyes, like, are you looking at things or are you looking at the ground?
At the ground.
On the ground,
too.
yeah.
Not very good with jump scares. Like it's just like I feel like I can do a lot of other things. Like I'll go bungee jumping, or like I'll like
Same.
I'll go skydiving one day. But then jump scares.
Wait, let's go skydiving.
I'm so down.
Let's go.
I'm so down.
Would you be down?
I'll watch you guys. I'll hold your stuff for you guys.
I really want to go.
Have you seen? Okay, this is random. Have you seen that one? Do you guys know? Like, I forgot her last name, but her name's like Bobby, and she does like a podcast. Like celebrities.
Yeah.
And she interviewed Shaq.
Oh my
And she
gosh.
was like, what is like? I think she said something like, "What is like one thing you wish you can do but you can't do because like you're so big?" And he was like, skydiving. Something like I don't know. I just thought about that.
That's so
We should go
funny.
skydiving.
Let us do that.
Yeah. I will watch you. I'll see if I can see you guys from up there.
But yes, I can't do jump scares. I like watching horror movies and stuff, but I hate the Yeah, I just can't. Yeah.
Dang.
But where are we going with this?
Haunted houses.
Oh,
Oh,
just
when
like
you look at
Halloween when
Yeah.
you were
Yeah.
a kid.
I hate haunted houses, like mazes. Yeah, I went through I think it's the Walking Dead maze in Universal. It's just like always there year round.
Yeah.
And I went with a couple of like my church girls. It was like a I think it was like a girls trip, or it was like a graduation gift or something, but it just happened to be like all girls, and they really wanted to go. inside the maze. So I was like, oh, like, okay. And so it's like, you know, like scares here and there, and I'm like almost about to pee my pants.
Yeah.
And then towards the end of the maze, there was a zombie behind like behind bars. But as soon as I get to that area, right, of course, he comes out from behind the bars.
Gosh.
Right.
Of course.
And I can like see him approaching me. And I'm like, oh my God. But he starts like waving his hand, because you know how they're not allowed to touch you. But he like starts waving his hand like in front of me, like scaring me. And then he grazes like my hair, or he like touches my hair like that. And that kind of like pissed me off. So I hit his hand, because he kind of touched me first.
Yeah.
And then I like ran out. But I just remember I like hit his hand, and I was like,
Oh my God.
I'm sorry if you ever see this. You probably doesn't even remember my face. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit your hand. But in my defense,
yeah, you thought
you touched me first.
Yeah.
Valid.
Yeah.
And that reminds me, I think when I was little, I went to the speech academy, and one of the teachers there, I don't know who hired him, but he wasn't like, I don't know, he's just, thinking about it now, he's just some random guy. Anyways, he had a part-time job at Universal, and he like partook in like the horror nights and stuff. And he would tell us stories about how they're not allowed to touch anyone,
right.
but then people would like hit them,
Yeah.
like just like punch them in the face and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
But I mean, valid.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. In 7th grade, my Mandarin teacher was talking about a similar story. So they went to Not Scary, like people she knew went to Not Scary Farm, and it was a couple, and they were just, you know, walking around, and obviously there are people just doing their jobs, but apparently there was this one worker dressed up as Frankenstein, and he was on roller skates. So he was just a really big guy on roller skates, moving relatively quickly, and the Frankenstein was approaching the girl, but you know, like they're not allowed to touch. So obviously he wouldn't touch the girl, but the guy got really scared for his girlfriend, which is understandable. But he literally started beating up the Frankenstein, and cops ended up coming, and the guy got charged for battery and assault. And that's when I learned what battery and assault means, because the guy next to me, he drew like batteries and assault shaker, and we're like, that's besides the point. But yeah, no, literally no one touch the workers, because you could get in trouble. So, and know that you won't be touched. Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy.
It's a little extreme.
Yeah, he really just like went at it with the Frankenstein. Poor dude.
But you know what? Maybe he's a keeper, protecting his woman.
Yeah. You know, maybe that served him for the better for some other situation.
Or not very great.
I don't know. But hope the Frankenstein's okay now.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy though.
Do
you guys have... Oh, sorry.
Oh no, I just said yeah.
I thought you were gonna like yeah.
No, just yeah.
Like I cut off Edgy in the previous episode. I was like, oh my god, I don't know what to do.
No. I also didn't know what to say. But yeah.
I was gonna ask if there were any like childhood like fears, or like just like fears that you guys had that when you look back at, it's kind of like, oh, no, like not anymore, or if they're still like relevant to this day.
I know before we started recording, you mentioned Bloody Mary. I think it's a very valid fear.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I remember in 1st grade, I was new to this elementary school, and it was the first time I learned about Bloody Mary. And our school bathroom was actually kind of scary. It was kind of dim. And the ceilings were really high, too, and the stalls were like... I can't tell if it's because I was small or if it actually was kind of weirdly tall. But yeah, it was very dim, and all these girls like just go to the bathroom together and do Bloody Mary and stuff like that. And I'm just like, oh, that's so scary. And I remember having one specific dream that I still remember very vividly. It was at the school, and Bloody Mary kind of like came to life, and she was this like huge like looming presence over the school, like playground.
Wow.
And then, yeah, it was like blood everywhere. And I
Wow.
was like,
Oh,
That's
wow.
yeah.
so scary.
So that was the childhood fear I had.
Pretty
Yeah.
graphic.
Yeah. Scary. I think for me, I think I was always scared of the dark, but I think even now I'm like to a degree scared, but it's more just like I don't want to be out when it's dark, or sometimes when I'm home alone at night. It doesn't happen very often, but I do get spooked out sometimes, to be honest, because another fear that I had even as a kid was sometimes I'd lie in bed and I'd get so scared that the door would suddenly open. Like our front door would suddenly open and someone would come in and come into my room. And then once I moved to a house with a garage, that fear evolved into like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared that one day I'm just lying in bed and I'll hear the garage door opening. And so I think it just kind of shifted in that way.
Wait, speaking of the garage door opening, okay, basically, okay, this is kind of like off tangent. This is not childhood. This is actually like pretty recent. But I think like my parents weren't home for that week or something like that, and so it's just like my sister and I, and it was like, I think we were taking turns driving my parents' car, just like the engine doesn't won't have any problems in the future. And we were coming back from like the market or something, and we pressed the garage button, but it didn't open, and so we kind of like pressed it like over and over again, and then it finally opened and it closed normally. So we're like, okay. And then we're like sleeping, and it's like 4 or 5 a.m. and then I hear the garage door open. Oh my gosh. And then I was like, okay, that's really weird. Like maybe it's just like my neighbor's like garage door and they're like leaving for work really early. But then I hear it close, so I was like okay. And then it opens again and then it closes, and it just keeps doing that. And at this point I'm like freaking out because it's like 2 girls in the house, right? Like I'm glad that my sister was there, but it's 2 women. So I was just like, oh my god, like do I go check? Like do I leave my room? I don't know. But it's like constantly going, and sometimes it would like close and it would just like be silent for like 30 seconds to a minute, and then it would open again and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, like I should probably go check. So I grabbed my phone, and then I think I woke up my sister too, and I was like, hey, like our garage door is like opening and closing, and I don't know if it's our neighbors or if it's ours. So we kind of like opened the no, I think my dad was like, okay, like let me check the cameras, so don't move yet, like let me just see if like someone happened to like enter. It's like he's like, don't worry, it's like very rare, I don't think it would happen, but just to be safe. So he's like checking all the cameras. He's like, okay, I don't see anybody, I don't see anyone around our house, so just like maybe you guys can go see what's going on. So we kind of like check, and it's literally just like opening and closing by itself. And then so so like there's like a little like box, I think it's like it has all the wires and stuff that it like controls the opening and the closing of the garage, and it has a sensor in it too and stuff. We have to climb onto a stool and basically turn off like the whole garage system thing. And so yeah, and then my dad's like, don't worry, like I don't see anybody, but just be careful for like the next couple of days, like we're gonna be home soon anyway. So we're like, okay. And then we thought about it, right, like a couple of days later, because that fear is still like in us, but for a couple of days later I was like, hey, remember when the garage wasn't opening when we pressed the button over and over again? I think that's what triggered that.
Like the
lag.
lagged.
Yeah, but lagged like 10 hours later. 12
Worst time ever.
Yeah, I was peacefully sleeping, and then it was like 4 or 5 a.m. and I was like,
that's funny.
what the heck. And then so after that I was like, I like texted my family and I was like, it's because the garage wasn't opening. It was acting weird, so we pressed the button over and over again to see if it opened, and they're like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah,
Phew.
quite creepy in the moment though.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, spoopy season.
Yeah, that is my greatest fear manifested, basically. Or do you guys remember when we were in the apartment and we always had the balcony curtains
Yeah.
closed. But then I would say that I'm always scared. What if we happen to look outside? We never really did, but what if one day we look
That's so
outside and there's
scary.
something there?
We also could see our neighbor's apartment through that angle.
Yeah.
And they could see into our apartment. So it's just
Yeah.
kind of like not the vibe.
It really wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember our neighbor.
You know, I think he still lives there.
Oh.
Because you know how Max lived in the apartments?
Yeah.
last year? So I would go and I would still see his like dad's car parked there. I think they still live there. But yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, my child. I was a little afraid of the dark. I
Yeah.
usually slept with my light on or kind of like have my door cracked open because my parents would usually close it in the middle of the night for me. But I was like really scared of the dark. When I was a little bit older and I found out about sleep paralysis, I was really afraid of that. So that's when I always like slept on my side and my stomach because my mom used to put me to sleep like that. I don't know if it's like a Korean thing, but a lot of Korean parents used to like lay their like kids on their like their side so that their face the shape.
Yeah, the head doesn't get like smushed in the back too.
Yeah. So I was like, that was my most comfortable position, but I got into the habit of sleeping facing the wall with the blanket over my head, and I would just leave like a little crack here
To breathe.
Yeah. But it would still be hovering over my head to a certain angle, so I can't see like above me, but I left a little breathing hole. And then I saw a TikTok saying that was a sign of like ADHD or something. I don't know. Like only people with ADHD do that. And I was like, okay, like hold on, wait a minute. But that's like besides the point. But yeah, anyways, I became a very like big side sleeper after that. Because I heard a lot of stories where like, okay, I don't know, it's kind of scary, but people are like sleeping on, like lying on their back, and they're like, because it's like sleep paralysis and people sometimes like see things, you know, they would like see stuff like on their ceiling or like something would be like on top of them. So I was like, oh no. So I always slept on my side.
So even now, do you sleep in that way?
No, not anymore. I think it started to get a little uncomfortable at a certain point. And then I also found out it's like better to sleep on your back.
Yeah.
So I started sleeping on my back more. So yeah.
Have you ever gotten sleep paralysis?
I think so, because I didn't see anything, but this was when we were in the apartments. I don't remember if this was
Well, I feel like we've
COVID?
talked about this before.
We did.
right?
And then it was
Yeah.
also late at night.
Oh wait, I remember this. Wait, really?
Wait, we had
And
that
then
one really scary
Yeah,
conversation.
and then it ended up. It was like I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
But, like I talked about my experience with sleep
Yeah.
paralysis, and then somehow the
Eunice.
conversation got really scary.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
And I like it was like 2-3 a.m. and I was
Yeah.
like, well, guys, like,
Yeah,
I
we
don't
were
know,
like, I guess we're not sleeping tonight.
Yeah, we were like really afraid to go into our
we were just kind of like at the dining
Yeah, I
table.
remember that.
I think there was like we were like talking about like scary things, and then there was like there's like a crack or something, or like a
Oh, yeah,
like a sound from like the walls, and we were like,
What was that?
Yeah, I
yeah.
think Eunice like said her story, and that like
Yeah.
really
Oh.
spooked me out.
Yeah.
Didn't she talk about Boston? How Boston
Oh,
is
yeah,
very
yeah,
like
yeah.
like
Like the
haunted.
houses are actually
Yeah.
haunted, especially even like the house that
Yeah.
she lived in.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
always
yeah.
have. Was it an attic or a base?
It was a
Something
boat.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Maybe basement. Yeah.
Oh.
But
Yeah.
yeah, she said something like very specific, and it just creeped
Yeah.
everyone out.
Yeah.
I think she said that, and then we heard like
Yeah.
stuff from the walls, and we're like, no way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
What time?
We really talked about everything about dining table.
Yeah. Iconic. Wait, who has that dining table now? Do we know them?
Oh, wasn't it Min and Songy and Yuna's
Oh,
apartment?
yeah.
I think we gave it to them.
I
Yeah.
hope it is utilized
Yeah.
in the same way.
I hope so
I hope
too.
so. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another fear that I have that I I think everyone who knows me knows is my fear of frogs.
Oh yeah.
And everyone always asks me if I had some sort of traumatic incident with it, and it's more started with it being very 징그러. I don't know the English translation for it. Just like really
nasty.
gross, but like to another degree. I feel like, but I don't know, just frogs, toads. I couldn't look at it, and then that just kind of grew over time, and then I had multiple nightmares with it over time. So one nightmare, it was a nightmare for me because actually I think it's pretty much a nightmare, but I was on this was when I was maybe preschool, kindergarten, but I still remember it. I was in the car. My dad was driving. It was on the freeway. I even remember we were in the carpool lane, so the lane closest to the wall. Yeah. And suddenly it started literally raining frogs. Like literally the 10 plays. Like that's what was happening in my dream. And the windshields.
The windshield wipers?
Yeah, like my dad turned on the windshield wipers. But like what can that do? And so yeah, that was one dream.
It's like a ribbit.
Oh my god, yeah. And then another nightmare that I had related to a frog was, I think this was around first or second grade. It might have been second grade because we had a field trip to the Aquarium of the Pacific. And you know how at those places they have random exhibitions or times where you can get close to the animals. The worker will bring out the animal and you can sit right there and look at it. And so there are those tropical frogs that are very colorful, relatively small. And so in my dream, the showing was for a pinky colored tropical frog. And I was at the aquarium with my family. This is all a dream, FYI. And then the frog was just sitting at the palm of the worker's hand, and it was actually pretty big. It filled up the entire hand. And at that time, I was around first, second grade, so my brother was around 3-4 years old. And in my dream, my brother goes up to the frog to look at it because the worker was explaining that this frog's unique characteristic is that it can open its mouth really, really wide. And so in my dream, the frog, it was like a pinky color. I still remember very vividly. I actually saved, I'll show you guys later, but I saw like a meme somewhere and I was like, oh my god, this is what the frog looked like in my dream. So I saved it. But anyway, the frog opened its mouth really wide. It had really big beady eyes. It was kind of spotted and it was sitting like this. And my brother walks up to the frog with its open mouth, and my brother, if this is the mouth, my brother kind of like peers inside the mouth, and then the frog clamps its mouth on my brother's head, and then I woke up screaming.
That is scary.
Yeah, it was so scary. So that was my
It's like it, the clown.
Ew.
Like he's a lot better than that frog though, because it makes sense that a clown was like, you know.
Yeah, but that was. So I guess those are my traumatic incidences with frogs, just in my dreams.
Wow. Well, I used to say that I had a banana phobia, but it wasn't like, I wouldn't really call it that. It's just, I just didn't like it so much that I just told people that so that they wouldn't like eat it around me. But I met someone who actually has a banana phobia. Like she's actually scared of bananas.
Why?
I don't know why. I'm not like close to her. I've just like heard many stories, and eventually I did meet her through mutual friends. But apparently, like one time, this guy, just as a joke, because he didn't think she was actually scared, but he like put a banana in front of her door or something like that, and then she opened it and she like freaked out and like started like cursing and stuff, and like just like she was not okay, and like just started crying and stuff. So I was like, okay, I don't have a banana phobia, because that is what
a phobia would look like.
Looks like. Yeah.
Oh, that's a little messed up.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah, I guess he didn't know it was to that extent, but
True.
yeah,
I suppose.
Still mean.
Yeah.
Dang. Banana phobia. Have you guys ever been afraid of spiders? Or are you guys afraid of spiders?
I mean, I don't like them, but I was never like super scared of them.
Yeah, I can catch them if they're in the house and they need to be ridden of. I can grab it, but there was this one time. It was just my mom and me at home, and there was like the biggest spider I'd ever seen. It somehow got into our house. I've actually never seen a spider like that ever, but it was super, like bold font. This was a bold spider, like a bolded spider, and it was very big, and it was also just sitting on the wall on top of our fridge. It was such a random location too, but yeah, my mom thankfully was able to get that, but yeah, I don't know if that qualifies as like arachnophobia. I don't think I have it to that degree. Do you?
No, not really. But it came context. I was like Google searching childhood dreams, and it ended up being really serious, like WebMD and all that. Which I was just looking for, like, common childhood fears.
Yeah,
I guess they're a lot more serious than I thought.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. But spiders was listed as one of them. But yeah, I feel like I was never really afraid of spiders either. But I don't know if that's because like California just doesn't have the biggest bugs.
That's true. If you live in Australia.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sure it's more of a thing there where
I bet they literally have spider season, no?
That's actually disgusting.
Yeah,
what is spider season?
just like a season where they're a lot. You know how summer is kind of mosquito season for us? I think it's the same vein
And
where
then there are like webs like everywhere. They're just like you're just like walking through a forest of like webs.
Yeah,
Literally.
I think I've seen a picture somewhere, and literally the entire city is coated in webs because they're just literally flying around in their webs, basically. It's almost like raining spiders and webs. I don't know.
Yeah, I told Edgy this, but on TikTok, apparently that kind of, not to that extent, but it happened in SoCal, where it rained like spider webs and spiders. And it was because of the heat or something like that. But that actually explains it, because isn't Australia kind of hot?
Oh, that's true, because you're closer to the equator.
Maybe that's...
Yeah, and I think it's also only a part of Australia. It's not the entire continent.
Yeah.
Is Australia a continent? Country. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever have scary dreams that kind of, not came true, but some part of it kind of became part of your life? It's a very specific question.
Yeah, wow. I don't think so.
I think I had one scary dream where it's kind of similar to your Bloody Mary story, not specifically Bloody Mary, but this was also when I was around 4 or 5, I think, and I don't know why, but I was in like a cruise Titanic type environment, and I went into one of the floors of this boat or whatever, and for some reason all around the walls it was pictures of it was like it might have been because, did you guys watch Sweet Life of Zack and Cody?
Oh, yes, I did.
That one Halloween episode where there's the painting and comes to life. It was like a similar vibe. Like there were paintings like those all around. It was kind of giving like Dracula vibes too, and it was just bloody everywhere. I don't know what caused the blood, but I woke up to that and I was super scared. And I think at that time my grandma, like my dad's mom, was visiting from Korea, and so I told her about it, and my grandma is very very religious, and so she was like, when something like that happens, what you say is, in the name of Jesus be God. And so I think in that way that's just kind of been baked into me. So if I get really scared, I'm like, oh, Jesus, I like chanting Jesus. So that is that's a terrible answer to your question, but that's the only thing I can.
It kind of makes sense.
Yeah. I think the reason why I asked this question is because in 6th grade, I had a very, very specific dream. And it was the night before this like open house orientation sort of thing for the middle school that I was applying to. So I've never been to this campus. I have never seen pictures of it or anything. But the night before, I had a nightmare where I was at this like unfamiliar school, and it was like kind of like the Hunger Games.
Oh my gosh.
It was like I was participating in it as well, not out of my own will, but because I was just placed there.
Yeah.
And I don't remember too like much of the details, but this one specific instance. So it's almost middle school, right? So a lot of kids have braces, and there's this one girl who had braces, and all of a sudden there's a lightning, and it like struck her. It struck her.
Oh my god.
Her braces, like,
oh my god.
just like aimed right at her teeth, and she's like, like it's funny like telling it right now, but in my dream I was freaked out. I was like, oh my gosh, what just happened? And everyone's just like running around, and like,
oh my goodness,
it's just so chaotic. But then I woke up and I was like, oh, what a weird, I don't like how I dreamt this right before I visit this new school. I go there, and that unfamiliar school from the dream was that campus.
No way.
And I was like, what is that?
Are you a fortune teller?
I don't know, but it was really weird.
It's like a deja vu moment, kind of.
Yeah. But it just happened like right after, so I was like, oh, that's
actually
weird.
pretty scary.
Whoa.
Yeah, it didn't feel very good. Something didn't
something feels
good.
off.
Yeah, but
Have you guys ever had dreams where you're running away from something but you can't run fast enough?
Yeah.
I don't
Oh my
think so.
gosh.
It's so topped up.
I hate
so
those
tough.
dreams.
Yeah.
You're literally running as fast as you can, but you're kind of just like running in place almost. Yeah.
It's
oh my
like
gosh.
you feel like the weight of yourself. Like you're just like 10 times heavier than you like are, and you're putting your whole effort into running, but you
so
just
frustrating.
physically can't. And you feel like the anxiety and like the pressure because like something literally behind you chasing you, and they're coming at you full speed.
Yeah.
But you can't go at your full like potential, right? So it's just like, so frustrating.
I know exactly what
I
you're
had
talking
a lot
about.
of dreams like that. Yeah.
Wait, that's so interesting if you've never dreamt
I don't
something
think
like
I've
that.
ever had a dream where I was being chased by someone. Yeah. Usually my dreams are very much like normal life, where I'm just walking around. It's either that or I'm flying. It's not even flying. It's like, Subway Surfer. Like boots where you jump really high. It's more like that.
I don't like
I'm
that
like,
feeling either.
Really?
Because it feels like I don't have any control over my body.
Really?
Anymore.
It's the best feeling ever.
Well, I'm glad it's a good feeling for you at least.
I'm just having fun. I'm just like,
Dang.
wow.
Well, that's so interesting. It's like so different. Oh wow.
I thought most people have dreams like that, but I guess not. Does that mean something then?
I'm sure, kind of.
Maybe in your subconscious.
Do you guys think dreams have a lot of like meaning behind it?
I think so. Like maybe not like super deep meanings, but I think it is like kind of a representation of your mental state at the time. For sure. Yeah.
I agree. I think it's pretty indicative of where your mind is most fixated on in that particular time. Because I do think the people or situations that I'm really stressed about or I'm constantly thinking about somehow at one point will come up in my dreams. Yeah. Or I think also if I haven't been dreaming in a while, that will probably also mean something.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure what, but it must mean something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I feel like a lot of Koreans have like this thing where it's like your dreams, or like most Koreans are like, oh, like your dreams always like mean something.
Yeah.
Like when your teeth fall out, that's like a specific type of dream.
Yeah.
Have you had that dream before?
I have, but it wasn't my teeth falling out. It was my uncle's teeth, and it was only the bottom row, I think. Yeah, and then my mom and dad. Yeah, my mom and dad were like, oh, like doesn't give good vibes. Or something. And I was like,
Apparently, if you see blood in your dreams, it's a good thing.
Really?
Yeah.
oh,
I know Koreans believe if you see pigs or poo, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Which is very odd, but
Yeah. I don't think I've seen any of those.
that's good. Or it's not very pleasant to see that.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a point in my time where I was very obsessed with lucid dreaming.
Oh.
Where I like tried
Control.
so hard
Yeah,
to lucid
yeah.
dream. I don't think I was ever successful, but I like looked up how to lucid dream.
Yeah.
It's like you have to journal every dream that you have and just be very consistent with it, and then you can like kind of control your dream. But yeah,
Is it? I heard like it could lead to very bad things if you lucid dream.
I'm
though.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
Yeah, I wonder why.
yeah.
It's kind of scary if you say it like that.
Yeah. Sorry. I didn't mean it. Well, I mean, it fits the vibe of this episode.
So spoopy.
Yeah, I don't know. I like read something somewhere like a long time ago because I had a phase where I like a lot of people around me were talking about lucid dreaming, and so like but in my dreams I can tell myself like, oh, this is a dream, and then I walk through it knowing it's a dream, but I don't know if I'm able to like control it, you know, the way it goes. But
It's like half lucid dreaming.
so like I'll just like be going through the dream, and then at one point I just like stop. I'm like, oh, this is a dream, and then I'm just like fully aware during it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
but it hasn't happened in a while, so
Huh.
Interesting. I had one dream. This is the most random dream ever. This is also I somehow remember all these dreams that I had when I was 4 or 5 years old. They're very, very iconic in my brain. But I think I recently, or no, I don't think I had watched it yet at that point. But basically, Oprah was in my dream.
wow.
It was so random, but she was wearing an orange tracksuit, kind of like Vector from Despicable Me. It was literally that kind of tracksuit. And for some reason, she was ballooning up and up, and like she was just expanding so rapidly. And at one point, she literally became the size of, you know, Violet Beauregard.
That's what I was
in-
thinking
yeah,
of.
it was literally that. She grew to
orange.
be the orange and Oprah. She just got really, really big, and then she exploded. And then from her stomach came bits. It looked like mango. That's what I was expecting. It looked like mango was just like pong, and then exploded, and then her pieces just kind of flew out like mango. And then I woke up. It was so random.
That's actually kind of scary.
That
low
is
key.
scary.
Yeah.
Were you not scared?
I think I was just so dumbfounded. I was like, what was that?
Kind of oil.
Yeah. I was so confused.
Oh, for me, one of the most like random but emotional dreams. So it was, I don't know why it was emotional, but
You can't laugh before you do it.
I don't know. I don't remember what exactly it was, but Optimus Prime was in my dream.
Wow.
And he was like trying to save me or something, and then he ended up like dying or something like that. And like he was like, you know, last words like, oh, like I'm glad you're safe or something like that.
I'm so sorry. So great. Have you ever watched Transformers?
No, I
You did? You did? Okay.
I woke up with like tears in my eyes.
Oh my gosh. Wow. How old were you?
I was young. I was like in elementary school, but yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Have you had a fondness for Optimus Prime since then?
Yeah.
I bet.
It's weird to say because he's a robot.
It's not real.
He's not real.
Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. Did you watch the entire Transformers series?
No.
Oh, you fake fan.
I wasn't a fan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think this was probably in high school, but I had a dream that I met Vix. It was
You met who?
Vix.
Oh.
It was such a good dream. I remember so vividly. So it happened in Vegas, and it was so random because I hadn't even gotten to Vegas in so many years at that point. But I think it was at the Paris hotel. You know how the streets or the inside of the hotel is basically designed to look like the streets of Europe or Paris or whatever. And it's relatively dark in there, and they have kind of light posts to mimic the streets. And so I was just walking on in the streets of the hotel, or around the hotel with my family, and then at a light post I see these people who look very familiar, and I was like, oh my god. And then I go up to them, and it was Figs, and I took pictures of them. And then a couple months ago over the summer, I actually went to Vegas with my family for the first time since middle school, and we walked around Paris, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly where I met Figs in my dreams. So yeah, that was I think one of my most favorite dreams of my life.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I guess, like, speaking of, like, people in dreams, I know that's kind of a stretch, but, like, I used to have, okay, sometimes they were very vivid and, like, very clear, while some were a little bit more hazy, but I don't know if it's, like, the same person, a different person, because, again, like, sometimes it's hazy, but there were a lot of moments where I would have, or there was a time in middle school where this dream, like, was, like, repeated over and over again, and it wasn't, like, scary, but, like, everything was white. It was just a white background, and someone would always walk towards me, but his, like, face was hazy and everything. All I knew was it was, like, the frame of, like, a dude, and he, like, always walked up to me.
No, I was just gonna say Jesus.
Hold on. Man, I never thought about it like that.
Really? That's the first, man. Like,
He kind of white, you know.
yeah,
You know,
like
the image I
hazy.
have of, like, Jesus, like, long hair.
Yeah, true. All the
He's wearing kind of,
paintings.
like,
the
long
linen.
robe.
Yeah.
Exactly. He kind of looked like,
Just like a normal dude on the street.
like a blue dress
see.
shirt,
I see.
some jeans, maybe.
I see.
Like, yeah. But that dream, like, it, like, repeated for, like, a whole week, and then I just, like, stopped having them.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I had, like, one dream where there was a guy pushing a little kid, like, on, like, a swing set, but, like, the sun was, like, shining really brightly, so I couldn't, like, see who it was, but I saw that scene, like, at some place that I was, like, at. I don't remember, like, exactly where, but I, like, saw it, and I was like, oh, that's
Deja vu.
yeah, like, that's weird. I feel like, and then I've had, like, really clear dreams about certain people that made me really low-key afraid, because it's like these are people I was not thinking about, like, whatsoever. Like, they were just, like, I mean, there were people that were in my life before, but like, they would just pop up, and, like, we would meet again, and I was like, and I'd wake up and I'm like, well, that's freaking scary.
Yeah.
Like, I had a dream I met, like, this person at the source.
Oh,
So I didn't go to the
source of all places.
I know, right?
of course.
Like,
the
it was, like,
source.
really crowded. There was like so many people, and then, like, we just, like, ran into each other, and I was like, well, I don't like that, so I avoided the source for quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. They do say that the people who appear in your dreams, it's either people you have met before or people you will meet.
Which I've heard that too, but I don't understand how you can dream about someone you haven't met if you don't know their
Yeah.
faces, right? Because I heard that every face that you see in your dream is a face you've seen before, which is why they appear. But if you've never met them yet,
Maybe it's like you've walked past them before. It's like that slight memory, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
later
yeah.
on you actually get to know them. I don't
maybe
know.
like a foreshadow of a potential new connection.
Oh, that's so cool. If you think about it.
Makes me scared.
Yeah.
People scare me.
Yeah, people phobia.
Social anxiety? I don't know. Yeah. Well, how did we spiral into this?
I don't know.
Started from Halloween and then nightmares.
Is there a particular horror movie that really just was so scary to you growing up?
Oh, growing up?
Or recently? Yeah.
I didn't watch a lot of horror movies growing up, for sure.
Me
but-
neither.
I didn't either, but there was one point where I don't know who I watched it with, but it was a Korean ghost movie called Apartment. It's with I don't know her name. She's kind of old, but it was so scary.
What
And
is it about?
so it's this apartment.
Wow.
Yeah, and there are two like Korea, all the apartments are like stacked together.
Right.
So there's one apartment here and one apartment here, and the main character is this like lady who lives by herself. And for some reason, whenever she looks out the window and looks at the apartment across, she sees like people dying, like just like jumping out, like
I've seen this.
basically just
committing suicide.
yeah, unaliving themselves. And she's like, oh, that's so weird. Like, why does this keep happening at that apartment? So I think she like goes to investigate, which is so stupid. Why would you do that? Yeah. And I don't remember the details, but eventually, like, I think it's basically the ghost possessing people and then
making them do that.
And then eventually, like, she possesses the lady. And the lady eventually dies.
Oh.
But then the scary part was, I mean, everything's scary, but then there's this one scene where the ghost is like, she shows her like true form or something, but she's like lying, and then she gets up, and then it's like the bones cracking. It's like,
and like they move really fast.
yeah. And I was like, oh no, please, can you stop?
Don't do that.
Can you imagine her being in front, like, oh, she's like, oh my god, can you stop?
That's so rude of you.
You don't have my consent to do that.
I didn't ask for this.
Wait, but the way she like went over to the apartment to like investigate,
why would she do that?
It gives like, you know how there's like the joke where everyone's like, oh, like when the white person, they're like, oh, this house is haunted, don't move in, but then they still move in regardless, and they get haunted.
Basically,
it's giving white family vibes.
No,
like,
really.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
I watched Gonjiam in college with Gloria and Elaine, I think. It was like me, Lena, Gloria, Elaine. And they wanted to watch Gonjiam, so we did. Gonjiam was pretty scary.
I heard.
Yeah, because thankfully the screen was small. We were watching it on a laptop screen, so it was the effects of, I guess, scariness were a lot less. But it feels real. Like it can actually happen, you know? So
it's a little icky.
So
it's one of those icky ones.
Do they get possessed in Gonjiam?
Yeah, by the spirits inside the abandoned hospital. And it's like not just like the regular hospitals, you know. It's like it's like what do you call it? Like mental
wards.
Yeah. So it was.
Wait, was it based on a true story?
I think it might have been.
I heard it was.
Yeah.
Which makes it scarier.
Yeah. But there's like this one specific scene when I think she's one of the first to get possessed, if I'm correct, but I think they're trying to escape, like, because it's basically like a challenge, right? This guy is like wanting to stream this whole experience because nobody else wants to do it, and he wants to get famous. So he's like kind of guiding them through, and it just gets so creepy that they're like, okay, we gotta leave. So they end up leaving, and then one of the girls like disappears, because kind of in like the middle of nowhere, you know, she disappears. And then they're like, where the heck did she go? Like, what the heck? And then the camera, like, I don't remember if it's like you hear it first or you see her first, but she like starts to like slowly approach, like you just like know it's coming up.
Yeah.
And then like flashes onto her, and her eyes are like a different color. But it's like the noises that she makes that were really like really uncomfortable. I remember more than seeing her face, hearing it was so like like ugh. I'm pretty sure everybody knows like what I'm talking about, because it always comes up like whenever you type in like Gonjiam or something, that face pops up, and I can just like hear the sound she's making. It's like yeah,
That's so scary.
but Gonjiam was pretty scary. Yeah.
I do not go out of my way to watch scary movies, but freshman year, my roommate had a friend over, and they were just set on watching It, the first one, in the room, and I didn't have anywhere else to go, so I was just like, okay, like okay. No. So I watched it with them, but yeah, I am kind of a scaredy cat, and so that movie did not do me well. It was so scary for me. I was talking to like a high school friend about it, and she was like, it was so funny, and I was like, oh no,
it was kind of funny.
I never watched it.
Oh, it's okay, me too. It was it's just very 기분 나빠 because you know it's
true.
the clown and it was, and I think that was around the time when everyone was. It was around Halloween, so even on the streets, everyone was wearing clown masks, things like that, and so it was just very unsettling.
Do you remember? I don't know if this happened in like your cities, but when there was kind of like that clown, I don't know what you call it, like epidemic. Sorry, that sounds really traumatic. But there was a time.
No, there was. I think.
When like people would dress up as clowns and they would like do really scary stuff, and they would like take photos of themselves like in front of certain like buildings or schools, and they'd post it on social media and be like, hey, like blah 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 high school, like you're next, like things like that.
Oh, it wasn't to that extent.
Yeah, and like there would be videos of like clowns like approaching people's cars, and like it was like really bad. It like I think it was like our freshman or sophomore year of high school where it got really bad. But I remember I don't know why. I don't know if it was because of this reason, but our school went on lockdown. But obviously, you know, students are like always like talking to like why, right? But a clown had taken a picture in front of our school. Apparently, I don't exactly remember, and was basically posing a threat. So we had to go on lockdown. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true, but yeah, clowns are low-key a little bit scary. But I did laugh a lot during it.
Really?
It just felt so unreal. I don't know, because I saw it in theaters. Did you see the scene where he's dancing?
Wait, to me, it was so creepy. It was so creepy.
At first, I was like, ugh. And then the more I looked at it, I was like, that was a little silly.
Oh, maybe.
The second one was a lot, like, gory.
Yeah,
like,
it seems like it.
It was just... That one was kind of just like uncomfortable because it's like, ooh, like the blood and the violence was just not it. Yeah.
Clowns are just not it. Why?
Yeah.
Whose idea was it?
I know.
Well, yeah.
I wonder how they became so, I guess, villainized.
Yeah, because I feel like they were used for entertainment.
Yeah, but then at one point, they're no longer, or they're a different kind of entertainment, I guess.
Or maybe it was always that clowns were scary, and then people tried to turn it into entertainment. Something, but I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I was scared of Chuck E. Cheese growing up. I don't know why.
Valid.
That is pretty valid.
He's a big rat.
Yeah, quite literally.
Like,
quite literally.
it's scary.
And Chuck E. Cheese was a little crusty. Like the figures, you know, wasn't in the best shape. So
Yeah.
That's true.
Chucky is also really scary.
true. Wait, did you ever watch the movie though?
No, but there was a point where when it first came out, I went with my parents to watch the Robots movie.
Oh,
It's like that cartoon.
yeah.
And we went to the theaters to watch it, but then they were advertising Chucky. And there were like posters and like 3D like figurines of Chucky. And like we bought the ticket already, but I refused to enter the theater because I had to walk past Chucky.
Yeah.
And we ended up like just
not watching
not watching it because I could not.
Chucky is very scary though. I think just dolls in general are actually very scary.
That's true.
I don't know why, but my dad, we have like the smart TV, so YouTube is on TV, and my dad's favorite pastime these days is just going on YouTube and seeing what pops up on the recommended. And it's just the most random videos ever. But one day, what popped up was a random compilation of, you know, scary, spooky things that got caught on tape.
No.
And he was like, "Oh, what's this?" And then we were watching that, and I very much could have just left, but I was like, let's see it. So I just stuck around too. But the stuff that was being shown in that compilation video was so scary. Like one video, obviously it's dark, it's a dark room, but the phone or camera is still able to capture what's happening inside. And then one video in particular, there was a big doll that looked like a person. It was some kind of like marionette type vibe, the doll. It was sitting on a ledge, near the door, and it was just kind of limp at first. But then as the video progressed, it started like moving on its own, and then in the last frame or whatever, the doll was looking directly at the camera. But it wasn't like a cut frame or anything. It was just constantly rolling the video, and then you can just see the doll
Getting
slowly
closer.
moving. And I was like, oh, but why would you turn this? Why are you watching this? But also, why am I standing here watching it?
That's true.
I had no one to blame but myself, so I was a little scared to go upstairs after that.
Yeah.
That's so scary.
There's a lot of scary TikTok videos now.
Oh.
They like play out like the skits. Or like, have you guys seen like the woman at the door or something like that? I think it's like this lady. I think okay, it's a skit. It's fake, but this guy is like home alone or something, and then he starts hearing like knocking and like the doorbell ringing, and then so he like. But it's like frantically like it sounds like they need help. So he goes out, and then she's like, oh my god, hi, like there's this man chasing me, like I like really need your help or something like that. And then she's like, can I please go inside your house? And he's like, oh yeah, sure. So he like lets her in, and then I didn't really watch properly because I was like, okay, like I'm in bed right now, I don't want to be spooked, you know. But in the end, like the man like pops up to the door, and he's like this weird dude, he's been like chasing her. I don't know, but there's like a lot of TikTok videos like that nowadays, and it pops up on my free page every single time.
Oh my gosh. I thought the twist to this would be that the girl is, you know, trying to do something weird or bad. But
yeah, it's more, I think it's like a jump scare where the guy like pops up.
oh.
Like, yeah. I'm also very scared of the nun.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Valid.
Yeah.
Like my
so
family
scary.
went to the source. We went to CGV to go watch what is that movie called? What is it with Ha Jong-woo and Chu Ji-yoon? It's like their most like recent, and it's a really good movie. I recommend if you want to watch it. I don't remember the name of the movie, but yeah, trailers, you know, trailers happen, and then there's a lot of like horror movie trailers coming up, and I was like, okay, that makes sense because like October's coming up, you know, and then you know, I see like a church or whatever, and it's like like some like nuns, and then I was like, oh, it's gonna be about the freaking nun. So I'm like bracing myself. Yeah, it was really like the first ever like nun trailer I watched. I was watching a movie with my ex, and we had like fought or something, or we're like really upset at each other, and that came on, and then I immediately was like. So scary. But yeah, that's after that. I just like I can't.
Yeah.
It just seems so real.
Yeah, I remember when we watched Oppenheimer and The Exorcist
Oh my
trailer
gosh,
came on.
yeah.
At first, like I did not expect. I don't know why, but I just like it didn't register in my head that it was a trailer for The Exorcist.
Yeah.
But it's basically like these two little girls who like went missing, and then they come back and they're a little off. Like something's wrong with them, and then they like turn weird, and it's so creepy.
Yeah.
And usually like when scary trailers come on, I just like close my eyes and just choose not to see it. I don't know why, but I just like watch the whole thing.
My eyes are wide open.
I was a little intrigued for some reason.
Yeah,
But
I feel you.
after, I was like, wow, that was really creepy.
Yeah, and now they have the ads at the bus stop and on buses too. I think there was
It's black and white.
Yeah, and the face is very
It's like
distorted.
yeah, how do you even
almost.
explain it?
I don't
Yeah.
I don't know either, but it's so scary. I was literally driving back from work, and I was just driving on the streets, and it was because the sunset's a lot faster now, so it was already pretty dark, and there was a bus coming up right next to me, and I was like, oh, and I just look, and it's literally the head sources ad right there. I was already joking.
little girl just staring at you.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm literally driving by myself home. This is so scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a vibe.
It's kind of funny though, because the dads are like, "What's wrong with our dog?"
And they're like, "Huh?" They're literally screaming, and their dads are like, "Whoa!" Yeah, and then they obviously call like priests and nuns.
They like cuff them to whatever. And,
like sprinkle holy water on them. But like, I'm sorry, I don't know how effective that will be.
Yeah.
Very scary.
I heard Asian like horror movies are
It's scary.
like the scariest.
I think I've never
Japanese.
watched, but I I feel like Japanese ones would be terrifying.
Yeah. I heard The Ring is really scary, but
The Ring?
yeah.
I watched the newer version of The Ring.
I heard the original one is like, it's really old, so I don't know how scary it would be right now because the CGI or whatever, but yeah, a lot of people say they couldn't turn on the TV for months.
Oh my god.
That makes sense. I can see that.
I feel like for those, it's not really about the graphics, it's like the messing with your imagination. That's scarier.
I mean, I think the second one is like the same concept, but it's kind of like, it's like a virus that gets passed on because now we don't have only TVs to stream things. So we have laptops, computers. I'm pretty sure. I watched this a long time ago, so I think they're like, people will like burn CDs and they're like, watch this.
Oh,
or something, and then they'd put it into their computer and it's like, suddenly they're dead and their face is like deformed. Because I think the girl's like face is also like kind of,
I don't know,
deformed
probably.
or something. Yeah. And then it goes back to like her history as to like why she became that way and like why she does this to people. Turns out she had like a really, really terrible like childhood, stuff like that. But
so she's not a ghost, she's an actual person? Wait, what?
She was.
Oh, she was. Okay.
But I think she was like under, I forgot who, but it is like this man, and he was like caring for a lot of like girls and women, but I think he like kind of like used them in the process, and so her spirit kind of
that grudge.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you seen the parody? It's really old, and it was like the parody of The Ring, where it's like a comedy skit, but it's this guy. It's American, I think. He's just like eating pizza while watching TV, and The Ring appears, and she like appears, and it's supposed to be scary, but then he's like trying to like just fight the ghost. It's really scary. I'll try to find it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Let me see. How long have you been? 3:48. Okay.
Well, on a brighter note, do you guys have any fond Halloween memories? I know we kind of touched upon it in the beginning with trick-or-treating and stuff, but do you guys do dress-ups at school, elementary school, middle school, high school, maybe?
I dressed up as Belle.
Oh my gosh. Like the yellow dress or the before
the yellow. Yeah, the yellow dress. Belle was my favorite Disney princess.
Oh.
Yeah. I had like the headband and everything.
Oh my gosh,
like the
that's
crown.
so cute.
Yeah. And at elementary school, because my school was Christian, we just had like a Halloween party where we just ate cookies and stuff like that, but no one dressed up because we had uniforms. And then middle school, when I went trick-or-treating, I think I was like Totoro.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, like the onesie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of reused that costume for like a couple of years. And then, yeah, that was the only costume I wore in middle through high school. And then college. Oh, yeah, we dressed up.
Yeah, we did.
Or freshman year. Yeah, freshman year, I dressed up, quote unquote.
Yeah.
As the little kid from It. Because I had a yellow hoodie.
Yeah.
And I had
Georgie or something?
Yeah, something like that. I didn't even watch the movie, but I was like, oh, I have a yellow hoodie, and I had balloons for whatever reason, and so I was like, oh, perfect. So I dressed up as the little kid, and then sophomore year, we dressed up as ice climbers.
Oh, wait, I remember that.
Yeah, we like made it.
Yeah, it was a
pretty
whole
good
project.
Yeah.
Wait, was it like for like church?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's a competition where
For sure.
and we won.
We won cutest costume, I think.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. And then the following year we dressed up as oh no, it was COVID.
Yeah, but then we still did.
Yeah, we
That's
did it
cute.
virtually.
Yeah, we literally called on Zoom
Yeah.
to take a picture.
And we made a graphic out of it, and it was like, it looks legit.
Yeah.
It was
Dang.
Among Us.
Yeah, we dressed up.
Wait, I think I've seen that one too.
Probably. Yeah. And then the following year, we dressed up as Ajumas.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like
I
Taiwanese.
remember that. That was really cute too.
But it was so embarrassing because it was at our church picnic, and they literally advertised it as it'll be a costume contest.
Yeah.
Why did no one else dress up?
One dressed
or if
up.
they did, it was you couldn't barely tell. And so it was pretty embarrassing. And then so after that we stopped.
Yeah, like this past year we were like, oh, should we dress up as ajishis? And we were like, nah.
Dang, I dressed up this past year.
Really?
With my cell sisters.
Oh.
As what?
This past year? Yeah. We were the 12 disciples.
Oh.
And it was, we got first place.
Oh,
That's so good.
Where are the pics? I've never seen.
Yeah.
This before.
Yeah. Oh.
I've never
You did not
seen.
post.
No, I
would
think
remember.
I posted.
Yeah.
I'll show you guys later.
Okay.
It was really cute. Our cell leaders made like beards for us.
Oh my god.
To like hook around our
That
ears.
is so
And everyone kind of
cute.
came in their like, you know, like their dresses and their robes.
Yeah.
Wait, I like that.
Wait, that's really smart.
Yes, it was quite fun. And we were going against East, like High School Musical East High, like basketball boys.
Oh.
They like were like dancing, and then we were like, this isn't a dance competition. This is a costume competition. I don't know why you're trying so hard. But, and then, you know, Nina?
Yeah.
Yeah, she went up and she danced for us.
Amazing.
Or something, yeah. And then, so we won. But
Dang.
Yeah.
That's a solid
fun.
costume.
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
When I was little, I think I dressed up as a princess one year. I don't remember what, but it was just those generic dress costumes. And then in elementary school, I think for a good couple years, I was a cowgirl. I don't know why, but I was a cowgirl.
Easy.
And then in middle school, when we went trick-or-treating, I dressed up as a penguin because I don't know where my dad got these from, but do you know how those animal hats, it's like an animal and then has like the long ears?
Yeah.
So he brought home a penguin one and one that was the green pigs from Angry Bird.
Oh.
So he brought those two. And obviously penguin is a bit more viable, I feel like. And so I told my parents I wanted to dress up as a penguin when we go trick-or-treating. And so my mom bought black fabric from Joann's, and then she cut it so that it can be like a trash bag vibe. You know, you just don it, and then my parents cut out a white t-shirt and then pasted that on the black fabric for me, and I just wore black leggings and I was a little penguin when we went trick-or-treating. And then after that I stopped dressing up because I don't know what to dress up as. Oh, I think in high school, just because I didn't want to wear uniform one day, I just wore a beige colored sweater and then cut out pictures of spices. So I was a spice girl. And so that was my costume. It was very terrible, but I just didn't want to wear a uniform that day.
Understand.
Yeah. And then in college, I think that freshman year when you dressed up as the character from it, I dressed up as, this was a very, very big stretch, but I was like, I'll be Dorothy from Wizard of Oz. I had like a plaid dress, so I just wore
I
that.
don't think it was a stretch.
And then,
Cute.
okay, good.
Yeah.
And then I tied my hair into 2 braided pigtails. And then, and then the ice climbers. I was the blue one, Brittany was the pink one, and then Among Us.
Dang.
Yep.
I think I've only been trick-or-treating like once or twice too. Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember what I dressed up as. I think I was a princess. Maybe Cinderella. I really like Cinderella. I don't know why. Yeah. Trick-or-treating was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Do you remember getting a lot of candy?
I think I got a good amount. That's so long ago. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I think I got an okay amount. Yeah. But then after that, I usually just went to like church if I wanted to like do Halloween activities.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
I wonder, I feel like the kids these days, when they go trick-or-treating, they won't get as many, like good candy. Because I feel like it's either going to be, like, healthy alternatives or...
Like cheap ones.
Yeah.
I feel like trick-or-treating is just not really a thing anymore because it's just so dangerous now.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
It is sad. I think we were born at a good time.
Yeah, literally almost.
Yeah.
at the cutoff, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, like my mom actually used to buy candy to hand out too. So she would buy Dum-Dums or just whatever random big pack. But now we're at a point where we just turn off the lights too.
Yeah. There was like, I think this was really recent, but was this last year? I think this was last year. My sister and I, or like my family, were just like, okay, like let's just turn off the lights, you know, so that people know we just like don't have candy. And then we got like a knock on our door. So we're like, oh, like maybe they're kids, so we'll just like kindly turn them away. So we turn on our front lights and we open the door, and it was like these two grown boys. They're like, trick or treat. And we're like, oh, we don't have candy.
Oh my gosh.
And they're like, oh, like, okay.
Oh.
Okay, like, thank you. And I think they just like left. And I was like, I was really expecting smaller people, but
smaller children.
I was like, but you know, like, go you. At least I didn't have to turn down kids.
Yeah. And they're just like, okay, bye.
Yeah. They looked a little disappointed. But I mean, my lights were off, so
Yeah. Silly
I
of
tried
them.
to let you know. Yeah.
Mhm. Do you think when you guys have kids, you guys would want to do Halloween activities with them? I don't know exactly what, but
It's like pumpkin carving and stuff like that.
or like painting pumpkins.
Why not? Yeah.
If we're all in the same area when we grow older, maybe we
Oh
can
my
take
gosh.
turns hosting for our kids.
Yeah.
That would be so cute. Would you guys do matching costumes with your kids?
I think that's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I ever have kids.
Oh, true. Valid.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That'd be cute.
That would be cute.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw this one really cute one just on the internet, but it was basically a dad. He was dressed up as Kevin from The Office, and his baby was the pot of chili that he spilled, and it was so
That is
cute.
really cute.
Yeah,
That's cute.
yeah. I like those kinds of costumes. So funny, but so cute.
That's my favorite scene from The Office. When he's like picking up the chili.
He like uses the folders to scoop it back in the pot. Oh my gosh.
That's my favorite.
Yep. Well, I hope everyone has a safe and fun-filled spoopy season, no matter what your plans may be.
Yeah. And wait, this is getting published. It's like almost a week before Halloween, right?
I
But
think
then-
so. It's like
Yeah.
a couple days, like 25th,
Oh.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let us know if you have costume ideas or like
Yeah.
just what are you gonna be for Halloween?
Yeah,
stuff
or
like that.
Yeah, if you are planning on dressing up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe in a year, and if we're still doing this podcast, you'll see us in costume.
Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we'll have a more themed spoopy season 1 next year.
Yes.
Well, until then, thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.